Right. TGI Friday. I guess I gotta change my background, don't I? Good morning, everybody. Making some of the last minute change. Give us a share. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm putting it on my story. I'm going to share it into my groups. Good morning, Mike, the Bear fans. Bear fans that are out there. Packer fans that are out there. Good morning. We're about ready to get this thing started. Let's get that intro going. Beautiful. Football talk with Russell Wayne. What's up, Single Dads Club? Michael. Good morning, Michael. What's up, Fred? Good morning. It is a great day to be a lion. Hey there, Alexander. I love those hearts right there. Yeah, good morning. What team do you represent, Alexander? Or are you just looking for dates in my comment section? I call that out. I love that flea flicker. It look good. Good morning, Scotty Reno. Good morning, Brent. Single Dads Club right there. I'll leave that up there for the rest of the intro so you guys can look up Sons of KD Elder Types and Devils Party. That was the old band. Look at it. It is Friday morning. Friday morning. Here we go. It is Friday morning right now, and it is Football Talk with your host, Russell Wayne. And that is me right here, Russell Wayne, the Lions fan. But we do represent all four of the NFC North teams up in here. We're streaming live into Detroit Lions news and Detroit Lions villain squad right there. And this is the juice that makes the whole engine run right here. If you're a Lions fan, please go follow the page right there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Mike the Bear Fan, NFC North main event 365. That's content 365 days a year. We're talking about football here, and it's made possible by a bunch of people that love football like you, like A-Dub. What up, people? What is going on? When main event Mike comes in here, I don't know if I'm missing his phone call. Did I miss this? I didn't miss his phone call, did I? I think Mike is going to be calling in today, and we want to talk about some of these lines. Like, I'm not a gambler. I don't gamble, but I do think that it's fun to like mindfully try to figure out if some of these over and unders and the prop bets. We do our lock picks every week, which is we pick one game against the spread, and we keep track of it, and I like that type of thing, and we want to do more of it. So I think that what we're going to try to do is on Fridays here on this program, we want to talk a little bit about the gambling lines and what's going on. Maybe here in the future when Mike pops on, we're going to be doing that. But let's talk about these games a little bit. I mean, I know we got mostly Lions fans in here. What do we got? It looks like mostly Lions fans in here. Let me look. I'm looking back through. I don't even think we have a Bear fan in here yet. There's A-Dub. And here, Bear Down Mike. There we go. So we do have representation. Of course, we got no Viking fans in here. And I don't understand that. Why aren't you guys all liking what's going on right now? You got a big division game going on this week. And really, you got 3 wins. Minnesota Viking fan, what are you doing? Why aren't you in here? Where's Jamez? Where's Jamez? I mean, I'm trying to understand why Viking fan isn't happy with what's going on. I swear maybe it's just because you want to think the opposite of what I think. But at the beginning, I thought your team was going to be trash. I thought the team was going to be trash by going and getting rid of all of your high priority defensive players, and you already had a crappy defense. I thought you were done. But here they are. They just knocked off the San Francisco 49ers last week. And here are the Vikings coming into a reeling Green Bay Packer team. I mean, that's the best way that I can describe you guys, is you're reeling. You're reeling. The injuries are catching up with you. You got problems at the quarterback position. And then here's these Vikings with Steady Eddie being Kirk Cousins. Being the man that he is, being the man that we said that he was, which is the best quarterback in the division. All due respect, Jared Goff, but Kirk Cousins, he's proven it time and time again. I think Goff is close. But when you look at Kirk Cousins' body of work, the offense was never the question there. And now you're looking at a defense that might be average. That's awesome. Brian Flores took a bunch of has-beens and nobodies, put them all together, mixed them up into a stew, and they're performing decently. They got a shot to be okay. And with that offense, I mean, I'm looking at these Minnesota Vikings is the biggest threat from the North at this point. But we'll see. We got the war week They're taking those talents up to Lambeau Field, the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Kirk Cousins and his triumphant Warriors marched to Green Bay, Wisconsin, and took a reeling team, put their mouth onto the edge of the curb, and stomped them out. That's what's going to happen. I think that the Minnesota Vikings are going to go into Lambeau and they're going to take care of business. And then all of these Packer fans are going to be scrambling. Everybody except for A-Dub. A-Dub kind of foresaw this 6-7 win team materializing before our very eyes. So, and that's what I'm going to say about that. And then you got these Chargers, right? What about these Chicago Bears? The Chicago Bears are in danger of winning a few games here. Got another young team right here, an ascending team, a team that could be. I got a message from Main Event Mike. Says that he may be joining shortly. We're hoping that we can get him onto the show today so we can talk about some of these gambling type of things. And I don't like to gamble, but I do like to have fun with making the picks of what the gambling is. I want to play the game. I want to play the game by the week. I just don't want to bet no money on it. I'll leave that up to you guys, and we'll see how we do. But for those of you that are just joining right now, this is NFC North Talk with Russell Wayne. Football talk more in general right there. If you follow that QR code right there, that'll take you to our YouTube channel where you could subscribe and you can be part of all of our villain type of fun here. We are Lions fans first, but we do like to talk about the other fan bases in here. We are broadcasting live into Mike the Bear fan too. So we want to know about our enemies. And if you're a Lions fan, are you suffering from PTSOL? That is post-traumatic, same old Lions. When you get to the end of the games, do you have that feeling in the pit of your stomach where that nightmare comes true that's happened so many times before, where we steal defeat from the jaws of victory? We have the game well in hand, and then dun 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 dun, PTSOL creeps in. We think that we're going to lose it. I think that that's going away because, you know, even the beating that we took, I mean, there was no questions in that beating. We never had a fighting chance inside of that, but we fight. We do. When we get into these close games, it seems like they can get it done in the peak moments, you know, when everything's going on. So, but I do want to hit this Bear game. This Bears versus the Chargers. So, if you're a Bear fan, how are you feeling on that? You got Tyson Bagent, the secret Bagent man, secret Bagent man. He's coming through. He's coming through. Maybe he's going to be special. Maybe the Chicago Bears, after spending all of those first-round picks trying to find a franchise quarterback, is this guy it? Are they hyping him up too much? I mean, the people from the outside would think that you're hyping him up a little bit too much. I mean, they didn't have to put him in too many stressful positions. You know, in that first outing right there. I mean, some might say that having another week within the system, you know, being able to practice with the ones, that might be able to help them out a little bit right there. So what do you think in there in the comments right there? I know Bear Down Mike's in there. Are you feeling pretty good that you might be able to climb out the basement? Bear Down Mike says the Packers are going to get the mold smacked off of them. Yeah. The cheeseheads don't know what to do right now. I would have to say that the cheeseheads are about the softest fan base that there is right now. I mean, I can't believe that A-Dub and an occasional Steve is real, yeah, are the only representation that we're getting on this. Maybe they'll just say, well, we don't want to watch your crappy show. And I say, you're soft. I say you're soft because you came on this program when we were running 5 days a week. You were in here running your mouths all summer long about how great Jordan Love was going to be.
Love stinks.
You were in here running your mouth about how you own the division.
Love stinks.
You were in here running your mouth about how you're going to smack everybody around because you had the history. But it came down to it that they hurt your feelings. And sometimes love can hurt, especially when he's throwing interceptions at the end of the game when you need him to make plays. You've been in the system long enough. You've been in the system long enough. You're not a rookie. Stop treating him like he's a rookie. He's not good. He's not good. Yeah, it took some of these other guys a minute to get going off of their rookie years, trying to compare him to Peyton Manning. Oh, Peyton Manning wasn't good in his rookie year. Well, Peyton Manning didn't sit behind nobody. He didn't have 4 years to learn the system and finally throw him out there, and he can't play. And now maybe he'll prove me wrong, going down into the future. But right now, he is what he is.
But they are who we thought they were.
Jordan Love's not very good.
Love stinks.
It's okay. It's okay. You guys could find maybe you have the quarterback. Maybe Sean Clifford is the answer. We talked with A-Dub about that. He doesn't believe in that. He still believes in love a little bit. Do you believe in love? And you can't give up on people too early. You never know. It takes a minute. Sometimes it grown to the speed, but I don't know, man. He's been out there. He's been practicing with this team for 3 years. Lions roar again on Monday night, says Brent. I like that.
You like that?
I do like that. Thank you, Kirk. Thank you, Brent, for the comment. Robert, true Lions fan right here. Robert's been here. You've been here since the get-go. Robert was here during 0-16. We don't abandon our team. I mean, we're not going to come out here and beat our chests every week. But even when we were 1-6 last year, and even 0-8 from the year before, we still came on to our programming. And when we were 0-8, I mean, our programming, nobody was watching, I should say. But we still came on here. We represented our team. So for those of you that do that, even during the losing, and bear down, Mike, I'm telling you, man, you guys are some of the best Bears fans that there is out there. I appreciate you more than you know when it comes to somebody that comes out, and you were here at 1-5. So if you guys go on a winning streak, you can say that you were the one that weathered the storm. And I appreciate that about you, because that's what Lions fans have endured. Just a bunch of smack talking. All three fan bases. The fact that a fan base tells us that we need to shut up and stop pumping our chest, that shows me that we're starting to, get into that hated category. And that's what we need as a fan base, to let me know that we've arrived as a fan base, is when y'all start hating us more, because we should be able to beat our chest, especially after winning 4 in a row. And they deserve criticism for getting their ass kicked. They got their ass kicked. They went out there. John Harbaugh took us out into the back to the woodshed, beat the shit out of us. And I hope for a young team that this Lions young team has, I hope they took it to heart. I hope they took it personally. I hope they made a vow to each other, say, we're never going to get our asses whooped like that ever again. Because it was a physicality thing. You want to go out there and say that they have a blueprint on how to beat us? I'm sorry. But if you allow the worst quarterback in football 8 seconds to throw the football, he will carve you up because this is the NFL. And in the NFL, there's 1,800 players stretching across, even into the practice squads. All of those guys can ball. Every single player knows how to play football. Best football players. So the talent from the worst player to the best player, it isn't, the gap isn't as big as you think it is. These guys can play. And sometimes you get got. Bear Down Mike says Chargers are going to press man coverage and challenge Bajan. Let's hope that he can make some passes over 15 yards. Yeah, that's good. That's a good call right there. I like that. The Chargers are what I would call a super duper underachieving team, because when you look at the roster of that team, I mean, really, when you look at that whole damn division, is a bunch of underachievers. I mean, when the Denver Broncos traded for Russell Wilson, we called them Super Bowl contenders, right? It was the Seattle Seahawks were the ones that were going to be the shit team. Well, it turned out they trade Russell Wilson. They take the first round picks. Seattle's still good. And the Denver Broncos with Russell Wilson's like one of the worst teams in the league. How did that even happen? Talent-wise, you look at it and you're like, how is that even happening? The Chargers are the same way. I mean, you got all these offensive playmakers. Eckler. You got Herbert, probably one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I mean, widely accepted that he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. You got a defense that's loaded with a bunch of name talent that look great on paper that are underachieving. So, I mean, if I'm the Bears and I'm looking at this, and I feel you right that they're going to challenge Bajan, but here's the thing: like, these guys have been underachieving, and if you guys are an ascending team, I think you guys could get a win here. But I think just as easy, the Chargers could come in and take you to Spanky Town. Won't you take me to Spanky Town? They take you into the back, into the woodshed. They could do it. They have the talent to do it. All this all-star talent. Same thing with the Lions in their Monday night game. I mean, this is a Raiders team that everybody's, 8.5 point spread, 9 point spread, or whatever that is. Like, this is a team that has Devontae Adams, the best wide receiver in the league. Josh Jacobs, one of the best running backs in the league. Max Crosby, one of the best defensive ends in the league. So, these guys should be good. But the fact that nobody from the Belichick tree ever does anything. McDaniels reminds me a lot of Patricia. Patricia had Calvin Johnson for 5 minutes. Or maybe it wasn't that year. Maybe he did leave that year. I'm not 100% sure right there. When did Patricia come in? That was like the most forgettable 4 years of our lives. Packers. Oh, I already read that one. I went the wrong way. I don't understand the Cousins hate. If Goff didn't pan out, I would have loved to have him in Detroit. You know what? In Detroit, he'd get the same love that Goff gets. It would be the same thing. People like running quarterbacks. If you can't escape the pocket, then what they do is they forget every good game that you have. And if you do have a good game, the receivers made a good play, or, oh, wow, it's a good thing they have offensive line. The defense bailed them out. But you look at a guy like Josh Allen, because he can escape the pocket. Whenever he has bad games, no one says, oh, yeah, he's a garbage quarterback. No, they say, oh, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. What's wrong with him? And then when he has a great game, oh, there he is. That's great. Well, when Goff has a good game, It's like a library up in here. And they started putting MVP candidate thing in there. And then he has a bad game. And then it's like he didn't have any good games. Well, none of those wins count. I don't know. I had 4 wins, but he looked really bad in this last game. I mean, 6-1, half a dozen of the other. You don't like a pocket quarterback. That's why all of the hate goes on to Kirk Cousins and Jared Goff after they lose. Oh, they lost. They're awful. Well, if they had wheels, when they would lose, people apologize because they say, what's wrong there? And then they wait for them to get back on track because they can make stuff happen when the play breaks down. But I swear, the average football fan does not appreciate a guy that can stand in the pocket and deliver the football. And that's something that Jared Goff can do. And that's something that Kirk Cousins can do. Pocket quarterback, 90% of football is played within that pocket. And it's determined on whether that distributing quarterback can get the ball into the playmaker's hands. And we love the other 10% of the game where the play breaks down. Oh, Mahomes escapes the pocket. Josh Allen escapes the pocket. Lamar Jackson escapes the pocket. All that stuff is fun. But Lamar Jackson taking a big step forward in that last game because when he escaped the pocket, you know what he did? Instead of darting and trying to get, 10 yards on the ground, he threw the 30-yard pass. He threw the play over the middle. He put the ball into his playmaker's hands because that's what you are as a quarterback. Even if you're as fast as Lamar, you're a distributor. That's what you should be first. And that should be what the number one measuring stick is for QBs. And in this day and age, it really isn't. We want the escapable quarterback. Then we like the passing on that. We want the best passer that's fast. When sometimes you just have the best passer and he ain't fast, but he's still really good. Derek Carr's in that category too. No, Lions are the ones down to earth. This is part of the NFL after last week's sad events. Yeah, the Lions are down to earth. Aren't you glad they're down to earth and they dropped to 2-5? So now they get a gut check going into it, and they're 2-5 and have it 5-2 and try to move it to 6-2. Yeah, I'm not worried. I mean, getting your face kicked in like that, it's happened to like literally every Super Bowl team. You get your ass kicked once out of the 18 games. Sometimes somebody puts it to you. I mean, I saw a team that got out physical. I saw a team like the Lions don't normally lose the line of scrimmage. And you can go back and check the tape on it. And that's what you'll find is they don't lose the line of scrimmage. But when they do, the score is pretty lopsided. Carolina did it to us last year. And this year, Baltimore did it to us. I don't think Seattle did it to us. Seattle got us into a good game that we happened to lose. We ran out of possessions. That was a coin flip away from winning that game. Neither one of the defenses were playing well, and it came down to who had the ball last, the coin flip. But when it comes to getting your ass kicked right up front, I'm not worried about Penei Sewell. I'm not worried about Taylor Decker and Frank Ragnow, stepping up to the challenge after a bad getting beat bad. Those guys step up. Those are the type of guys. I mean, I'm not worried about them getting down because, you might want to blame that on Goff. If those of you that blame it on Goff, that's dumb because, you give up 5 sacks. I mean, you can't expect your field general to when your offensive line's getting manhandled like that, you can't expect your quarterback to bail you out every single time. And they didn't. So it was a sad event. I was there. Unfortunately, I was there. No PTSOL, but Humble Pie sent me to the doctor yesterday. Doctor prescribed a W Monday night, and that will be the cure. Yes. Yeah. I'm not going to panic. I would panic if the Lions lose on Monday night. That would be my first moment of panic. I'm going to come on here Tuesday and I'm going to have some questions. I don't think they're going to lose. I think that was a big test that they had in Baltimore. It's a good gut check, and they're going to have to live with it for the week. And I think that the guys up front are chomping at the bit to go out there and be physical against the next team that so happens to step in their way. And it just so happens to be a Raiders team that is poorly coached. And I just can't see the Raiders winning this game. Yeah, a W Monday night would be the cure. Thank you for the comment. Jordan, I am curious to see how the Bears carry with Badgett behind center. They might be starting to find themselves. You ready to buy into Badgett already?
It's my quarterback.
The secret Badgett, man. He's coming in. I mean, that's a win right there. I mean, where are you, Bear fans? Here's what Bear Down Mike says. He says it was one game. In order for him to be a starter, he will have to win big games. This game will help Badgett versus Herbert. If Badgett outplays Herbert, that will say a lot about how good he can be. Yeah. Isn't that the NFL though, Bear Down Mike? Here we are. It's about opportunity. I mean, some of the maybe the greatest players ever didn't get a chance to see the field. You never know. You never know. You got to give them a chance to be out there and do it. And he won a game for you last week. Regardless, I mean, it's about game managing. I mean, Justin Fields may be able to, win an arm contest with him throwing at targets. He may be able to beat him in a 40. But what it comes down to is, how do you act on 4th and 2 with the crowd leaning in on you? High pressure. Because some people can ball in the other parts of the game, but it's more about finding people that excel in the biggest moments, the moments that most people melt down, some people shine. And all of the quarterbacks in the NFL can play, but the ones that have this attribute that I'm talking about are the ones that excel, the ones that the moment isn't too big, where you can find the right and your mind's thinking clear, the clearest when the highest pressure the situation is. So it's exciting. If you're a Bear fan, I think you have a right to be excited. For one, you won your game last week. So I've said many times that when you win your game, you should be able to run through the streets naked, metaphorically. Don't actually go do that, but, go out there and beat your chest, have some fun, feel good about your team for a week, because you never know when a streak starts, right? You got one win. I mean, you've seen teams do it all the time. The Lions won 8 of 10 down the stretch last year. There's no reason that a hot team that starts finding themselves, especially with a brand new signal caller with no tape, like the secret agent man.
It's my quarterback.
It's not my quarterback. It's Bear Down Mike's quarterback. But I'm thinking that Mike could be happy about this and, all the way up into the game. And I really do believe it can go either way, Bear Down Mike. It could go, you get your ass kicked, or you could, have a breakout. You might have a breakout player. That would be really cool. Now, I'm not 100% sure if me and Mike's going to be able to make it in. So I'm going to throw the link into the comments, man. If you guys want to have a conversation, I'm just in here. I'm in here doing that thing. I'm doing this football thing. So I'll go around the horn right here and promote everything right there. Bear Down Mike, I know that you're probably already following Mike the Bear fan, but we are broadcasting live into Mike the Bear fan, so I send my Bear fans all the way over there. Lions fans, I'm most concerned with right here. We're the villains. We just crossed over 7,000 villains. If you want to go follow and become one of our villains, or we're going to be releasing how you can become a super villain here pretty soon, and it's just something fun that we can do that is helping us grow influence through here as Lions fans, because we aren't affiliated with the Detroit Lions. We don't get paid by any big corporations or anything that pay for us to be talking heads on here. We just do this because we love it. We love football and we love football fans, but more importantly, we love our families, and we love the way that we can use football to have things to do with our families on Sundays. I mean, there's nothing that's I look forward to it every week. My 19-year-old son going into the Lions Den, or like last week, we traveled to Baltimore and watched the game together. And the thing is like, even in a blowout loss, I can look over at him and just be like, man, it's really, really great to be able to spend this time with you. I look forward to football season every year just for the way it can help me become closer to my family. And I hope that you guys use it the same way, because, there are some people that take it too serious. They let it, ruin parts of their lives or anything like that. Use football. Don't let football use you. I want to put a shout out to the Detroit Lions News, man. You guys really helped us get this page off the ground and running, and we can't say enough to thank you guys. They have excellent programming on the Detroit Lion News, including this program that you're watching right now. We're avid Lions fans. They are also a homegrown entity that isn't affiliated with anything, just fans, just out here, doing the analysts. He does a little bit better job with the analyst part with us. We're just smack talkers right here doing this thing. But this is Football Talk with Russell Wayne, every single day at weekday, 11 a.m. You can go over to the main event YouTube channel. Give us a subscribe, man. I mean, if you're watching the video, whatever video that you're watching right now, just hit the like button on it. That's all that we ask. I ain't gonna try to sell you nothing. We do have affiliate links. We have NFL Shop that's in there, but I don't want to try to sell you a jersey. If you were going to buy a jersey and you want to support our channel, it's not going to cost you any more for us to buy it with our link in the description than it would for you to go to NFL Shop and buy it from their description. So if you use that link, you're helping out our show, and we appreciate that. But I'm not going to ask you to buy a jersey. I'm not going to, but you know why? Oh, look, man. So are you a believer in the Detroit Lions? Whatever team that you're, is this fool's gold? There was a once a Packer fan that was talking real tough. His name was John Dorn. He was a really good Packer fan at one point in time. And he probably tucked his tail between his legs and ran over to another program so he can run his mouth to a bunch of other people that would make him feel good about him running his mouth. Make him feel good about how don't say anything mean about the Packers because our feelings will get hurt. We don't like the smack talking show anymore. We don't like when you say the Packers suck. Well, we didn't like it when you said that the Lions sucked for all those years, but we took it and we deserved it. Our team wasn't good. For 5 years, you were able to lay into us. And here you are for like 3 weeks, and they ghosted us. And y'all know that too. The ones that are on this program, you guys know who John Dorn was. May his Facebook entity rest in peace, or over on some private network where they all get together in a circle and talk about how good the Packers were. We still own the North. We still own it because we won it long time ago. We're in the here and the now, folks. I like the here and the now. And Bear Down Mike was looking at his Bears team and going, man, I might like the here and the now. I don't know. I don't know whether to buy into this team yet. Eric Thomas says our defense is starting to play pretty good. Eric Thomas, you disappeared for a couple weeks, but I'm glad to see you back on here. That's good to see you on here. That's and sometimes it's hard because I always want to encourage people to pump the brakes on being high or low on the team when things happen. It's like I feel bad for Viking fans, and I think that, and it sucks because right now they should feel good, and I would give them a nice platform on this show right now, and I wouldn't be giving them a hard time. I've given them a hard time all summer long, and I had to pump my brakes. I apologize for the things that I said. I get stuff wrong, and that's the thing we can do. You can be like, man, I was wrong on that. I thought they were going to be really bad, and they weren't. And now, because a lot of these Viking fans, because they jumped off the bandwagon when they lost 3 pretty tough games to good opponents, they jumped off. They want to fire the coach. They want to, all the stuff. Get rid of Kirk Cousins, trade everybody. Let's get the first pick in the draft. And now they won a game, and it's almost like they feel like some kind of reservation on being happy. You should feel happy. Like, if you can win in this league, it's hard. But if you can win in this league minus some of your best players, like Justin Jefferson, and get a victory against arguably the best team in the NFC, San Francisco, maybe they're frauds. Maybe they're just getting exposed, but you beat them. So I know that was Eric Thomas. I went on a Minnesota Viking tangent. But I just wanted to encourage people to don't get too high or too low on your team, because sometimes your guys play good, sometimes they play bad. Brent says, if we're going to be a player, Brad Holmes has to get at least one player. Who does everybody want? Who do the Lions fans want here? I'm not spending a lot of money, but if it's me, I mean, I believe in my coaching staff, Brent. So I believe in Brad Holmes. I believe in Dan Campbell and what he's doing. And if Dan Campbell says that it's going to be hard, he doesn't want to mess with the chemistry of the team right now, I don't mind them not getting anybody. I mean, we are going to get some addition, and some of these injuries are going to get better here. We got a whole bunch of people that got better. I put up a post last night on some of these things. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. The people that are no longer on the injury report. And the thing is like, everybody wanted to put an asterisk out there because we beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead without Kelsey. And I think that's fine and dandy if you want to put an asterisk there, but we've had some asterisk games too, like this last game with the Baltimore Ravens. We had some of these guys that weren't on the team because they were injured, that we're going to be getting back, that are going to be big parts of everything going forward, right? Like Josh Pascal has been injured for a while. We've been injured on the offensive line and everything. So a lot of the ebb and flow of the season, you're getting guys back. Guys are getting injured, but I think that we're coming into a healthy spot. I don't mind if we go out and, get a mid-tier starting level cornerback, but I don't want to spend any more than a 4th or a 5th round pick on anything. I mean, if we could get Crosby, I mean, that might be worth spending, a little bit more money on it. But I don't know. I think they believe in this team and how it's going to progress. I mean, if you're a Lions fan that you're out there, one of the things that I want you to feel good about as a Lions fan is this team is young. So the basic core of this team, I would say more than half of the team is just going to get better because they're young. You know, they're first, second, and third year players. You know, when you think of Brad Holmes in his drafts, right? Most of the players, if you think about it, now that Jamar Jefferson was signed to our practice squad, I mean, think about this. Brad Holmes has all 23 of his draft picks since he started here. Since he started here, are on the team, contributing to the team. And I guarantee you that there are 0 other GMs that have that type of track record right now. Brad Holmes has built a mini monster right here with a bunch of young guys that are in their first, second, 23 guys in their first, second, and third year that are only going to get better. Penei Sewell's playing at all-pro level. He's the best right tackle in football right now. And it's not even, there's no argument with that. It is what it is, right? Bear Down Mike says Bears are 5th in stopping the run and 19th in stopping the pass. So the Bears are getting better. That's another team right there that has a lot of young players on it. And with good coaching, you can take these young players and they're going to get better. You know, veterans are great to have, having them in there, but you got to pay for veterans. When you homegrown grow some of your players and they all start budding at the same time, that's what you have in the Detroit Lions, and that's what the Bears are looking for. You got a bunch of young players on that team. Griffin Dexter, that was probably one of my favorite draft picks you guys had. You got him in like the 6th round or something like that. It's amazing. Freak athlete. That was like getting Trayvon Walker, but in the 6th round, because that's what he is. He was a physical freak that just didn't have any training yet. You know, he had to learn how to play football. Well, if he learns how to play football, those physical traits are still there. So, oh, come on, Brent. Here we go. John Dorn and his groupies have crappy mouths. I was on their podcast and asked the question, and they said all sorts of crap and never answered the question. Yeah, that sounds about like Packer fans. They always like to twist things that just work out for them. They're just the best and nobody else. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks for programming. I think it's boring. I mean, I'm not going to talk about my team being good unless I think my team's good. And I'm happy for the first time in 3 years that I've been able to be on my own show and be able to talk about maybe rostering a winner. I like being able to talk about my team good. But I try to taper my homerness, and I also try to be realistic when things aren't going good. I mean, if I really was concerned and thought that this bad loss that the Lions just had was going to be like the way the rest of the season was going to be, I would tell you. I just don't feel that it's that way yet. I'm not willing to push the panic button yet. I think our team, like if you look back at the last responses after losses over the last 2 years with the Lions, you'll see heightened performances in a win or a loss. But when it comes down to like the team that you have to face after the Lions take a bad loss, like in Carolina, like in Seattle, you don't want to be the next team. Poor Atlanta Falcons. I think they sacked him 7 times in that game. And here comes a rookie quarterback, or maybe Jimmy G. But Jimmy G's not going to get out of the way of the pass rush. It's not like he's going to extend plays. Jimmy G, it doesn't really matter who plays. I feel bad. One of them was a Washington Redskins player, is who I want. Okay, you want the bad guy is looking for either Chase Young. Yeah, probably Chase Young. That's what you're looking for. I think they got a couple good cornerbacks too. If you're thinking of mid-tier guys, Bear Down Mike's Fields' biggest problem is holding the ball, holding onto the ball too long. He doesn't take what the defense gives him. That is 100% true. Right there. That is
It's my quarterback.
every time that you guys came on here telling me that he was going to be an MVP candidate and that we needed to look out for Justin Fields and that I was just a hater. I'm just a hater because I was calling Justin Fields. That's exactly what I was calling him out for. He doesn't take what the defense gives to him. He's going to not take what the defense gives to him, and he's going to get whatever he can with his legs. And he's an athlete, but teams are hip to that. You're never going to beat a good team like that. He won't win against any good teams. They just stand up to him, and then they put his running into a box, make him throw, and he can't. Bajan has a better arm than Justin Fields, and that's evident right out the bat. Just throwing the short stuff, being able to execute what play is being called. So I hope they like. But honestly, I think it's better for the division that Bajan becomes good, and that way you guys can use your two first round picks, maybe even pick 1 and 2. And maybe maybe it's pick 1 and 10. And the reason that it's 10 is because you guys were better. You know, you actually want that to happen. You want to see your team have progression and have the extra pick. The Lions got to do that. We got pick 6 in the draft because the Rams suck. The pick 18 came from our team finishing 9-8. So I would rather be like that if I'm a Bear fan. I want to see progression on my team. That's felt good going through the whole offseason. Knowing that your young team was already 9-8 and that you were going to add another crop to it. And that young team was going to get another year better. It's like, it's good to have a nice young team. You know that the window's just opened up this year for the Lions. Barely. Peeked it open a little bit. I don't know if they're a Super Bowl contending team this year. I'd like to think so. I'd like to think that the team is as good, more like the 4 wins than the 1 loss. But, I mean, you get a streak going here, Bear Down Mike. I mean, if you can beat the Chargers, I would start feeling good about that. I'd start rallying your troops. Fred says, I don't see anything from Love that I've seen from Rodgers in the first starting season. He keeps composure, but he looks like a deer in headlights. You know what? I'll comment to that. I like that comment right there.
But they are who we thought they were.
Because he has the look like nothing is affecting him. But the deer in headlights, like when the play starts and he looks and starts getting the happy Joey Harrington feet. If you're a Lions fan, you know what I'm talking about, where it gets all panicky. He's not good in the big moments. You know, for the first 3 quarters, he does throw. There is arm talent in there, but in the biggest moments, he looks panicky. I mean, he's blown a couple of games for him. So, yeah, I think he looks like he keeps his composure. He looks like he keeps his composure. When he goes up to the line, he looks composed. But when the play starts, when the ball is snapped into his hands, it's a different story.
Love stinks.
He's not good. Lonnie says, I want Brad Holmes to keep drafting needs. We see our voids, but not wanting Mr. Flowers types. Stay young and hungry. I like that. And I don't think he's drafting needs. I think that he's drafting whatever player he feels is the most talent. I mean, a lot of people thought that Jalen Carter was there, but there's something that is more than talent that they're looking for. They're looking for a type of demeanor And when you're talking about the top guys in the draft, there's really not. The Lions said they identified 18 players as first round graded players. So that's the way they look at it. You're looking at guys that are day one impact type of dudes that could come in and learn all the systems fast. Now, in our spot, we had people in front of our 18th overall pick. So it's nice to know that we didn't have to throw Jack Campbell right back out there because we have good linebackers and Derek Barnes and Alex Anzalone and Malcolm Rodriguez. So it's nice. And in the running back room, Gibbs may have been forced out there to do some of the full-time duties because of injuries, but for the most part, they've been bringing him along and having him learn stuff, and they've been spoon feeding him, giving him more. So that's what you really want, is to be able to keep on developing these guys. But when you think about it, the Lions are going to be going through a very, very different looking draft season after the season's over. And I don't want to talk too much about it because we're in the middle of a playoff hunt and I don't want to spend too much time on it. But a lot of the players that are on our roster are, drafted players. Like 23 of those players are going to be on the roster. I mean, they're already signed. Our entire offensive line is signed past this year, except for Jonah Jackson, but they'll probably get him done with the $70 million that they have. So there's not going to be a ton of turnover. And when we draft, it might actually be hard to make. It's going to be the hardest to make this team next year than it ever has been. And that's the truth. It's going to be hard to make this team 24 and beyond. And that's why this trade deadline stuff is such a interesting topic for me this year, because Brad Holmes' MO has not been to go and pay for this gigantic free agent or anything like that. That hasn't been the MO. They haven't spent draft picks. But when you've filled your team and your core of your team already with those young players, I'm not going to put it out of the realm of possibility that Brad Holmes would trade a first and second round pick of the future to bring in somebody like Aaron Donald or a big name player that's definitely going to be on the team. But other than that, I don't see them making moves. As I have Main Event Mike sitting in the backstage right now. So welcome to the program, Emmy nominated Main Event Mike.
It is I, Main Event Mike. Thank you for having me this morning, Ross.
Yes, man. I just been kind of babbling on and on, but I got into a little bit of talked a little bit about the matchups. We got the war week. I talked about how I thought that Minnesota was going to take care of business in Lambeau and really pound these Green Bay Packers. And I think that the Bears have a chance in this game to win this game with secret Bajent man, or I could also see the Chargers beating their ass and getting it together because they have so much talent on that team. And then I just got done talking a little bit about the Lions matchup too, and now we're into trade talks.
Well, I'll tell you, Russ, you're not the only one who thinks that Minnesota's going to go into Lambeau and win. The line went up overnight by 1.5 points. It is now Minnesota favored by 1.5 points. The line went from even to 1.5. So a lot of people jumping on that Minnesota bandwagon after they get their third win of the season and beat a great San Francisco team that made the line move a full 1.5 points. That's the equivalent of about $15 million that has been placed on the Minnesota Vikings to get that line to move. I still like my pick. I still think Green Bay holds serve at home. It's a division game. It's really hard to go through the division and win on the road. I think that I like Green Bay in the 1.5. And as far as the San Diego game, or the Chargers game, excuse me, I think I'm probably going to call them San Diego forever. Los Angeles Chargers and the Bears, that line has held steady. I agree with you. I think this is a get-right game for the Chargers. With all that talent, they've not been playing well. They've lost some games they should have won. They barely beat Minnesota. I think this is going to be a get-right game. They're going to beat the brakes off the Bears. That's my prediction. But, hey, I lost every bet last week, so what are you going to listen to me for?
Right. Like I've been through that, telling everybody that we're not professionals right here. We're definitely amateurs that are very, very good fans. I think that we're really, really good fans. Like don't ever take anything that we say serious, but you can, because we win lots of our lock bets. So you can take it as a grain of salt. But we got to get into this.
Right? We're invested. I spent an hour and a half last night looking at the lines, choosing a bet. I did hit the bet that I made last night. I took Josh Allen over 23.5 yards rushing, and that hit by the third quarter. So I think there is some, gravity to our picks because we're vested. We don't just look at the line and pick one willy-nilly. So if you would have listened to Russ Wayne last year, you'd have been plus 800. So definitely 13 out of 18 is nothing to scoff at last year, my friend.
Hey, and we just make these picks, and this is fun. That's what I was telling everybody at the beginning. Like, I don't put money on these things, but I think it's still fun to go through the numbers game and try to make some of these picks and everything. So, why don't you go ahead and set the lock picks up? I haven't even picked one yet, so you have to do yours first, and I'm going to pick one.
Oh, have you even looked at the lines yet?
I haven't looked at the lines, but I'm just going to want me to just kind of go through them right here. We got the Rams at the Cowboys right now. I'm looking at ESPN, the week schedule odds, fantasy tips or whatever. Okay. Anyway,
and it's funny that you said that game first, because that actually is my lock pick this week. It's the Dallas Cowboys -6 at home against the LA Rams. That is my lock pick for this week. I think that Dallas has been getting clowned in the media. Some of their players come out and said some outrageous things, Micah Parsons specifically. They need to get right. Even though they've got a good record, they've only lost 2 games. One was to the Cardinals, one was to the 49ers. This team needs to get on track. They're too good to lose to the Rams coming into their building by less than a touchdown. They should be able to cover this 6-point spread. The over-under is 45.5. I also like this to go over. I see this as a 31-20 game, maybe 31-17. That still puts you over. So I like Dallas Cowboys -6 at home against the Rams. That's my lock pick for this week.
Excellent. And here's the thing: is you just gave me something that the fodder, and I'm not even gonna. I will read the rest of the picks, but I already know my lock pick because I was so confident because the Green Bay Packers are falling apart, guys. And I really feel like this is the downfall of the Green Bay Packers right now, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it because
Love stinks.
It doesn't look like he knows how to run the offense. You got injuries all over the place that they can use as excuses. And I see the Minnesota Vikings as an ascending team right now because that defense as an average defense should scare the shit out of every single team in the North because that is a good offense that can score on you at any time. And that's an offense that if they can weather the storm and rip off, 3 of 3 and be right around 500 when Justin Jefferson comes back, look out. And you're also going to have a Brian Flores defense that has another 6 games of experience underneath that where he's used a whole bunch of has-beens and nobodies and made a patchwork defense that's better than last year's version of their defense. So I think the Vikings go into Lambeau Field and you could give me 7 points on this and I'd still take the 7 points. Give me the Vikings and take a point away from me or not take a point. Leave me at even like it was yesterday, whatever. However you want that to work.
Can't do that. Right. The line when you're making the bet is 1.5. That takes
okay. 1.5. Take the 1.5 points away from me, and I'm totally fine taking the Vikings in this game.
And I think I agree with you. Not only are the Packers falling apart, I think their fan base feels it as well. I mean, they've got 2 wins. If they end up a 3 or 4 win team this year, I mean, we're seeing that spiral potentially happening. They come in and beat the shit out of the Bears in week 1. And then they've lost really bad games. I mean, they lost to the Raiders. It was a bad loss. Bears turn around, beat the crap out of the Raiders. Shows you that they're not a great team. So I think the fan base is feeling it also. The Evil Empire, Jordan Love's first year, they're going to take their lumps. They knew this was coming. The informed, the smart Packer fans knew this was coming. They
Yep.
predicted this was coming, and I think we're seeing it play out.
Yep. And that's why, to me, that's an easy pick because we run an NFC North show, and I don't think I'm going to find any more confident. I am going to read through these here. So I'm going through these. I'm using ESPN's version of this for right now. So I may be off by a point. So don't kill me for this. But we got the Falcons going at the Tennessee Titans. The spread is Atlanta minus 2.5. On that one, and the total points 35.5 right there. I think I'm going to take the over. I would take the over on the points on that. I think that they could score some points in on that. Neither one of those teams are good enough to hold each other both under 20. You think? Bijan Robinson, all that. Okay,
Game being played. Who's at home?
it's at Titans.
Yeah, the Titans are a dumpster fire right now. They just traded their best defensive player away. Ryan Tannehill has an ankle injury. They're hurt. So they are at home, but they're a 2.5-point underdog to the Falcons.
Yep. So
Man, the Falcons are now leading their division at 4-3. I don't know. I think I like to take Tennessee in this one just because everybody's loading up on Atlanta. People are normally wrong. So when everybody goes left, I like to go right. So if you'll take Atlanta, I'll take Tennessee in 2.5.
Yeah, I'll eat the 2.5 because, man, that's what's the best recipe when you're on the road to get rid of that home kid is run the ball. And who runs the ball better than anybody in the NFL?
It's a good call.
And so I'll take that. That's cool. We might have to keep track of these too. I know we only pick one, but we might have to get crazy because this is fun. Oh, look at that. We got we got our favorite Panthers fan. What are we?
Oh yeah.
Oh, there he is. What's up, brother?
Say hello to my
and I'll tell you, Russ, I'm really glad that Will is here because to me this is the most intriguing matchup of the week. Carolina Panthers versus the Houston Texans. The two top drafted quarterbacks starting for their team, C.J. Stroud versus Bryce Young. Actually, we looked at this matchup at the beginning of the year as this will be interesting to see which one of these quarterbacks head-to-head is going to come out with the win. Will Vogel, he's a Panthers fan. Thanks. Welcome to the show, Will. The Houston Texans are playing great. What do you think about your Panthers' chances against the Texans?
Slim. Very, very, very slim. Houston's a team on a mission. Houston's got a lot of fun players on their team. They got Damian Pierce. They have Tank Dell. They have Nico Collins. They have, of course, Stroud, who's having a phenomenal rookie year, has only thrown one interception so far. So I say the Panthers' chances are, excuse me, I'm going to the game, so it's very, very slim. But this Houston team, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they get a wild card this year.
Wow. And even though they don't have a lot of stars on defense over there in Houston, their new coach, D'Amico Ryans, is a defensive guru, and he's actually got this defense playing above their heads. Russ, what's the spread on this game?
This one, I'm looking at the ESPN version. It's -3, Houston -3. And I honestly, in my opinion, yeah, I'm taking that 3 points all day and then some because I'm with Will on this. This is a Houston team that traded away Deshaun Watson for 3 first-round picks. So these guys have been quietly picking twice in the first round the last couple of years and are loaded with talent that you don't know the name of yet, but you will.
And you know who else they have on defense?
I'm going to take Carolina in the 3, and I'll tell you why. Because they have a good defense, and they don't have a win yet. And I guarantee you that when they were looking at the schedule, they're looking at this game as a game that they can win, right? Carolina sees this game as a game they can win. Bryce Young to Adam Thielen has turned into a great connection. He seems to have a great chemistry with Adam Thielen. I like the prop bet. Adam Thielen over 82 yards receiving. I think Bryce Young and the Panthers get their first win of the year against a Texas team that everyone's expecting to win this game, and I think the Panthers are going to surprise everyone and win this game. Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, the thing about Houston, that defense that scares me is you got Derek Stingley Jr., you got Will Anderson, who's this great linebacker that they drafted in the first round, top 5 pick. Yeah, it's going to be a hard-fought game. I'm excited to actually go. Yeah, it's 2 first-round picks. Yeah, it's always fun, no matter what the teams are. I always enjoy those first-round quarterback matchups whenever they're on the schedule, and you say, "Hey, this guy versus this guy is going to be a lot of fun," because we love those battles between 2 first-round quarterbacks or 2 former first-rounders. It's always fun.
Yeah, you're right. And I think we saw that play out last night in the Buffalo game against Tampa. You know, Josh Allen had some fire in his belly playing against Baker Mayfield, a player who was drafted ahead of him. And I think we'd never put enough stock into how important that is to these players. Their pride plays into it. I mean, you look at Amon-Ra St. Brown. He keeps a running list of all the receivers that were drafted ahead of him that he beats. So, I mean, that really is like a little peek into their mind of how they're thinking. And I think C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young are going to be fired up to get a W for their team this week. This is going to be a real intriguing matchup of 2 teams that, let's face it, even though Houston might be an outside shot for a playoff, neither of these teams are juggernauts. Neither one of our top-tier teams. It's going to be a very interesting matchup this week. So you're going to the game then, Will?
Yes. Yes.
Very cool. You got good seats?
I don't know yet. My friend surprised me. I'm excited because it's not only am I excited, it's my second time going to a game this year, but at halftime they're honoring Musa Muhammad and Julius Peppers into the Ring of Honor.
Nice.
So
very cool. Is Steve Smith already in the Ring of Honor?
Okay. Yes, Steve Smith, Wesley Walls, Jake Delhomme. I'm missing a few.
Yeah. Jake Delhomme. Oh, yeah. That was, oh, man.
I'm really surprised that a guy like Musa Muhammad would make it, though. I mean, of course, the Panthers franchise isn't that old, but it seems to me that they're kind of reaching for a Musa Muhammad who was a number 2 receiver his entire career. How does he make the Ring of Honor? I mean, for some franchises, I'm sure Musa Muhammad would not even get a sniff at a Ring of Honor with his resume. So that's a very interesting thing. We're probably losing viewers as we talk about the Carolina Panthers in an NFC.
Well, I'll move on then. Here we got the next one. We got the Saints versus the Colts. The Saints are getting 1 point, both 3 and 4 teams. And honestly, when you look at these 2 teams, they're probably mirror versions of each other from the AFC and the NFC versions. Got 2 pretty good defenses. You got 2 suspect quarterbacks. I've honestly thought that Gardner Minshew has been he's an underrated commodity as a backup. And I actually think that having him there as a starter is better than having Anthony Richardson there as you should let him learn anyway. So Anthony should take it in. So what do you think right there? Get 1 point. Well, I'll let Will start with this one.
Do you guys mind if I stay for the rest of the picks?
Yeah, go ahead. So who do you got right there? You got it's Saints versus the Colts.
Saints are favored by 1?
On the road.
I'm confused. Sorry.
On the road.
I got the Saints winning by more than that because I think the key difference is I think the Saints defense is very underrated. Like, they're not a great team, but they've got a very underrated defense. And the guy I think who is turning a lot of heads is I'm trying to think of his name. That offensive guy who's like crazy fast. Can't remember what his name is. Olave, and then they have this other guy. And I got the Saints by more than 1. So I would take it.
So there you go. So he's got the Saints. Who do you got, Mike?
I got the mustache, baby. I'm going with Gardner Minshew. Anthony Richardson, shoulder surgery. that is going to energize Gardner Minshew. They played a tough game last week against the Browns and lost a tough one. I think that Gardner Minshew is a better quarterback right now, maybe not more upside than Anthony Richardson, but he gives them the best chance to win right now. And I'm riding with the mustache on this one. That's not the same as a mustache ride, by the way. And so I will have the Colts plus how many?
1.
Okay, well, I like any points when I'm the home team, a home underdog. I'll take the Colts plus 1.
I love it. I love it. And I am also riding the mustache wave right there. I think Josh Downs, their rookie wide receiver, looks to be a legitimate number 1 threat. And Gardner Minshew he's a good game managing quarterback that isn't gonna, he's one of those guys that people don't like that does manage the game well. They got a good running game. They got a good defense. They're playing at home. Give me the mustache and give me a point.
I do love
Jonathan
Gardner,
Taylor
though.
coming back into form now, right? Shaking off the rust. The Saints give up a lot of yards on the ground, even though their defense is pretty decent.
Right.
They have Marcus Lattimore, Cameron Jordan. They have some good players, but they have some holes on that defense, and I think the running game can exploit those holes. I look for Jonathan Taylor to have 100 yards.
All right, we went 2-1 on our panel for right here. All right, so the next game, we got the New England Patriots going to face the 5-2 Dolphins. Miami at -9. Who do you got, Will?
I'll take that. I think Miami's definitely going to win by 9. The Dolphins are coming off a disappointing loss against the Eagles on prime time, but Belichick, no offense, got really, really lucky last week. And this Dolphins team is, even though they lost this week, it's a different animal. The Bills have been slipping until last night. This Dolphins team is good, and McDaniel's coaching them up well. So I like that bet. I got the Dolphins.
So you got Dolphins, and you're going to take the -9 on that. They're going to cover that 9 points?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mike, what do you got?
I think also I agree with Will. The Dolphins win this game. They've got too many weapons on offense to be able to for New England to stop. But I think in a divisional game, 9 is too many. New England, Belichick's a defensive mastermind. I think he finds a way to at least keep the game close. I can see the Dolphins winning by a touchdown, but 9's too many. I'll take the points.
Yeah, I'm the stats to know right here. The Dolphins scored 143 points in their first 3 home games against the Broncos, Giants, and the Panthers right here.
Those are nobodies. Those are the worst teams in the league.
Yes, they are.
Gosh, do I get to finish my take here? Or are you guys jumping in on me? So those 3 teams are awful teams. And Bill Belichick runs a better defensive shop than any 3 of those teams. I think the Dolphins are overrated on offense because they put up 70 points in a game against a bad defense. I don't think that that they'll win the game, but I do think that Bill Belichick will get it in there. So give me the Patriots and the points because I don't think they'll cover.
There you go.
So, all right, we're moving on. You guys are awesome, though. All right, this is fun. This is probably one of the funnest episodes I've done because I like thinking of this stuff on the fly.
I'm not really good with the points and that stuff. I just pick.
You don't know yet. You don't know yet. We'll see next week how everybody was. We'll look at this. But we got the Jets going to the Giants, which is they play in the same stadium. So both a home game. Jets at -3. Who do you got, Will?
I have a question. Who gets to wear their home jerseys? I got the Jets. Their defense is stronger, and Zach Wilson's playing better than people thought. Even though Tyrod's playing decent, this Giants team, this O-line is terrible. So give me the Jets.
There you go. All right. So Will's got the Jets. Who do you got main event, Mike, in this gun?
Well, to answer Will's question, the Jets are technically the road team here. So they'll be playing in their road unis. I'm sorry. I think the Jets are a dumpster fire. I think the Giants are a dumpster fire. Jets have a great defense. Hence, they are favored by 3. However, there's no real home field advantage here. This game should be an even pick 'em, in my opinion. 3 is too many. I'll take the Giants in the 3.
All right. I like being the one. I'm going to break the tie right here. So let's go. We got the New York Jets versus the New York Giants. And I'm going to go ahead with them -3 points and give me the Jets, Jets. Yes. I think that they'll cover. I think that defense is just too good over there. It overcomes all of the offensive mistakes.
Yeah,
That's
their defense.
Straight up. Straight up. Moving on. The Jaguars going to Heinz Field. 5-2 Jaguars versus the 4-2 Steelers. Jackson at -2.5. Who do you got, Will?
It's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, it is.
I got the Jaguars. I think what Travis Etienne has done is crazy good, and he's on a tear. T-Law looks like that injury never really phased him. The only thing I'm concerned about during that game is will Calvin Ridley show up? But with that being said, I still got the Jaguars.
All right. Jaguars to our favorite Panther fan. Who do you got, Mike?
Is it 3.5 or 3?
It's 2.5.
Okay. That bugs me. I'm going to take the Steelers at home with the points, and I'll tell you why. Because Jacksonville's defense is beat up a bit. They've got some injuries over there. And is it not seem to you that this Jacksonville team is so streaky? Like, they lose to teams they should beat, and they beat teams they should lose to, and you never can get a bead on this team. By all rights, I mean, honestly, my gut tells me Jacksonville's going to win this game, but I like the home dog, man. I like Pittsburgh at home. Tomlin's going to have these guys ready to play. They did announce this week that Jaylen Warren will have an expanded role in the running game. Najee Harris averaging less than 3 yards a carry. He's not getting it done. Jaylen Warren's a more explosive runner. If they can control the ball and Pickett and Pickens can get it going, not having Pat Freiermuth, he's gone for injury. That hurts the Steelers big time. But T.J. Watt's playing at an elite level again, and I think he's going to have this defense fired up. Mike Tomlin, they know their team ain't that good. They're scrapping. This is a game they can win, and they're a home dog. Give me the 2.5.
All right. So here we go again. All right. So I'm in the, you got these Steelers, Jaguars. The Steelers are 28th against the run right now, and they've only given up a couple of 1-yard rushing touchdowns. That is not sustainable. The key to winning on the road is being able to run the football. I predict Travis Etienne to have a big game. They're going to cover that 2.5 points. Give me the Jaguars -2.5. Okay. Now, moving on to the Eagles. The 6-1 Eagles at the 3-4 Commanders. Philadelphia is at -6. Who do you got? I'm going to start with Mike this time so Will can think.
I'm taking the home dog again. I'm going to take the Commanders. Last time they played in Philadelphia, it was a 1-point overtime game. So it stands to reason that this Commanders team, as Sam Howell starts to gain some more experience, some more reps, he's just going to get better. They really like what they've got in this kid. I got Brian Robinson on my fantasy team, who's done absolutely nothing all year. I hope this is the game they can get it right against a very tough Philly team. It's a division game. I got the home team, and I'm getting 6 points. I'll take that.
Right on. I love it. Go ahead, Will. Who do you got?
I was leaning towards Eagles, but you know what? I think this Commanders team is very, very underrated. Yes, they've been iffy this year, but you know what? They've played the Eagles well as of late, and they have the Eagles on their mind always. So I've got the Commanders as well.
All right, man. I'm the only one right here with a sane mind right here. Anybody watching this Philadelphia Eagles team? They got AJ Brown. They got a badass quarterback, and they got an unstoppable play. And the Commanders are trash. Commanders are falling apart. This is the best team in the NFL. Give me all that. I'll eat up all them points. Philadelphia is gonna go into Washington Stadium right there and lay the boots to the Washington Commanders as I move on there, since I'll take that. All right. We already did Texans and Panthers. We got the 4-2 Browns versus the 4-2 Seahawks right here. AFC versus NFC, starting with Mike again right there. Seattle at -3.5.
I'll take Seattle, and I'll lay the 3.5. Deshaun Watson. Some what they've called residual swelling in the shoulder injury. And I don't think things are going to get better for him, because they've said that the prescribed treatment for a residual swelling in the shoulder is massage therapy. And they can't find a massage therapist in Cleveland that'll touch this guy. So that's a joke, Russ. You can laugh. Anyway, I will take Seattle. They're a much better team. I know Cleveland's got a great defense, but Pete Carroll's a much better coach than Kevin Stefanski. I think Seattle's really making a play now that they've seen San Francisco slip. This is a prime opportunity for Seattle to catch them in the division race. I see Seattle win. I picked them at the beginning of the year that Seattle would win this division. So I'm going to ride with the Seahawks on this one.
All right, go ahead, Will. You got the Browns at the Seahawks. The Seahawks -3.5.
Yeah, the Browns have a good defense, but you know what? Seattle has a lot of offensive weapons, and I think that's going to be too much for them. Because is there any status on DK?
I have not heard an update.
Let me see stats.
This guy who made an amazing catch the other day, Bobo. You have Smith and Jigba. You have Charbonnet, and you have Kenneth Walker K9. I think it's going to be way too much for that Cleveland Browns defense to handle.
And don't forget Tyler Lockett.
And Tyler Lockett. I think they're going to be all sorts of crisscrossed and get tied up in a knot. Give me Seattle.
Right on. I think this is the first one that we're all going to agree on right here. And I mean, Seattle is known for the 12th man for a reason. That is if this game was in Cleveland, I would probably take Cleveland in the points right here, but this is in Seattle. That is such a tough place to play. And I think that Seattle is just going to run away with it, especially with all the problems that Cleveland has. But I could see me being wrong on that with Myles Garrett, because that guy's playing at a special level this year, because you never know.
Yeah, but with no Nick Chubb and with P.J. Walker under center, I just don't see them going to Seattle and beating the Seahawks.
Right,
I don't either. Way too hard.
So there we go. We had that was a unanimous pick right there for us.
Awesome.
Right here. So next we have the Ravens at 5-2 playing the dreadful Cardinals at 1-6. Baltimore's at -9.5. Who do you got, Mike?
Where's that game being played at?
It's at Arizona.
Boy, that's a tough one. That's a lot of points. I'll take the home dog and the points again. I'll take the Cardinals. 9.5 is a lot. I mean, if Lamar Jackson comes out and played like he did against the Lions, they'll beat any team. But on the road, that's a long way, too. I mean, these teams that from the East Coast, when they go out west, they never do well. So I'm going to take the 9.5. It's probably one I would lose. I would never bet this game. But if you're putting a gun to my head, I'll take the 9.5.
Right on. I'm going to go second right here. I'll let you go last on that, because I'm just going to go ahead and agree with you right there. I hate when they have these spreads that go over, especially with the home team right there. I don't think that I think that they do win the game, but they're not, that the Ravens won't cover that. They'll just run the football and grind it out, and they'll probably be kneeling on the game at 8 points. They'll be kneeling on it as the win right there. But how do you feel about this game, Vogel?
That's how I feel every time. People don't understand. Going to the West Coast is not easy because of the time difference, even if you leave days in advance. I do got the Ravens, but not by that many points. I'm not taking that points either.
There you go.
Okay.
All three of us unanimous on the Cardinals.
Look at
one thing
that.
I do like on this game, though, is a prop bet. Tight end Zach Ertz was put on injured reserve yesterday. They have the rookie second-year player Trey McBride, who's a talented young tight end. Hasn't really got his chance yet. He's going to get his chance to start against Baltimore. I like the prop bet. I think it's only 3 receptions is the over-under. 3 receptions for Trey McBride. I like the over in that. He only needs to catch 4 balls as the starting tight end against a Ravens team that has been exposed by tight ends already this year. I like Trey McBride over 3 receptions.
I love it. All right, so now we can get into these final predictions. Now we're done with all the other ones right here other than the division games. So let's get into these division games before we let these people go. I'm sorry if we went a little bit over today, but I do want to be able to do this every week and be able to get in here with these locked picks for us. I know that we're picking more than our lock picks, but I mean, we might as well take a lot of these things and pick these games. It'll help us be more in tune. Make sure you throw your picks in there. If you don't have I'm gonna have to game to be streamed on GoFan. Oh, wow. There's Sports Update 21 is about ready to get deleted from our broadcast forever because, wow, you didn't ask me to advertise on my stuff. I don't even advertise on my stuff. And if I do, I'm going to tell you about it. And we're building this page. And if you want to sponsor us, you can get a hold of us in the messages like every other business in the world that's legitimate. And then you can see what it would take for us to be able to advertise onto our page that reaches 2.5 million people. But Nice try, Sports Update. Nobody will be going to your scam place to watch the stream.
Yeah, and don't send us an email.
Yeah, don't worry. We're already going to say no to you. All right, so we got the Bears going all the way out to play them Chargers. 2-5 versus 2-4. One of these teams are getting right. The Chargers are minus 8.5. Mike, I already know how you feel about this, but let them know it again.
Justin Herbert and company, they're going to get right in this game. They've not been playing well. They beat the brakes off the Bears. I'll take the home team laying 8.5. I think they win by 10.
Go ahead, Vogel. Who do you got?
As Arnold Schwarzenegger once said, go Chargers.
Go Chargers. Chargers make it right there. I'm gonna, bear down, Mike. I'm telling you, dude, you are the best Bear fan that's out there. You're the one that comes out here every day. I'm gonna jump on the Bears side. They're gonna be covering that. I think they could win this game. I think that they go in and the secret agent man could have a breakout.
Russell Wayne.
This isn't Russell Wayne, but I got this may even go against all defying logic because my football mind believes Mike that they're going to go out there and get their asses handed to them. Because I love Bear Down Mike, and this pick doesn't mean shit because I already threw my lock pick in there. I'm going to side with you. So that way I'm going to pump my arm in here. I think Bajent might be onto something right there, and maybe you have something right there. So give me the Bears. Give me the Bears to cover that. So I'm going to say cover that. I won't say the Bears will win outright, but I think they're going to cover that. So, okay. I think that they won't cover that. That's what I meant to say. Okay. The Raiders. No, let's get into let's get into the division game first. We got the Minnesota Vikings. I don't even know what the line is on that. What is the line on that?
1.5, and that was your lock pick.
That's my lock pick. I've already made my lock pick. I think that the Minnesota Vikings are going to go in there and curb stomp the Green Bay Packers. What do you think in that game, Vogel?
Yeah, I think they curb stomp them too.
All right, so he's got the Vikings. What do you got?
I got the Packers. You're giving me the home dog again with 1.5, and this will be a chance for all the Packer fans to come out of hiding. I think they can win this game. I think they win this game outright, so I'll take the 1.5 and the Pack.
I love that you took that pick right there. Now here we are, the Lions. And the Lions right here, I don't know what the line is right now. It says 8.5 right here. Lions versus Raiders at home, Monday Night Football. Give it to me, Jeremy Vogel.
It's Will
Tammy
Vogel.
Vogel. Yeah. I think the Lions win.
It's Will Vogel and Jeremy. It's Jeremy Vogel and Will Ballright.
I didn't even mean to do that, but that was hilarious anyway.
That was fun. I got the Lions way more than 8.5.
All right.
Way more than 8.5.
Mike?
I also have the Lions. I think they win by 10 or more. I feel sorry for the Raiders that they're going to have to feel the brunt of the frustration up to that loss in Baltimore. Monday Night Football, the alternate helmets being worn by the Lions. This one scares me a bit. I'm really superstitious, and I don't like the helmets. I hate the logo. They're going to be wearing it. If they come out and stomp the Raiders by 20 or double digits like they've been beating some of these teams in those alternate helmets, maybe I'll like them more. I'm going to take the Lions to win this game as a revenge factor for what they endured last week.
Correct. And I'm in lockstep. Maybe I'm drinking the blue Kool-Aid is flowing like wine out there. and yeah, give me the Lions. Give me, they'll cover the points. I think that they have something to prove in this game. I'm looking for a bunch of players to take a step forward. On top of that, even if there wasn't the revenge factor, I love the way that Jahmyr Gibbs played in the last game. I think that he's about ready to take his mantle as being the 12th overall pick, and he's going to do some things in this next game to show why that they picked him at 12th overall. So you guys have some stuff in there. Mike, do you want to plug the show before I let these guys go?
I do. It's the NFC North open mic every Monday at 7 p.m. We're talking about all 4 teams in the NFC North. 7 p.m. Eastern Time, NFC North open mic, hosted by Main Event Mike, produced by the maestro Russell Wayne. Tune in and join us. It's the best show on the internet.
Absolutely. And I hope that everybody's had a good time today. I know that everybody that's watching right now, the 21 people that are there, you guys are obviously football fans, and we appreciate anybody that's going to be coming on here and listening every day. This is Football Talk with Russell Wayne. We stick with the North most of the time. You can use that QR code, go right to our YouTube channel, give us a subscribe. We appreciate anybody that comes in here and listens. We did throw out a NFL shop. We are affiliated with them. I'm not going to try to sell you any jerseys, but if you're going to buy a jersey, if you use our link, just know that you're helping our program right there, and it doesn't cost you anymore. We're not upselling this or doing anything. So if you buy a jersey using our link, we would appreciate that. This has been NFC North Talk with Russell Wayne, and I'm going to end with the blessing like I do every single day with you. You can hear the words that are coming out of my mouth right now. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again next time, next week, what is it? Saturday? I guess I'll be back here on Monday talking about all these games. God bless you. Peace out. One prize.
What's going on, Russell Wayne and the Main Event 365 Network? This is Jason Kabinda from the Detroit Lions. Here to give y'all a shout out, man. We appreciate all the support, man. Know you guys are big fans. Know that you guys are rooting for us to take the North this year, and we're going to do just that, man. Appreciate you guys so much. Just want to give y'all a shout out. Y'all have a great day.
Ooh, that was a good show. I like that. Thank you, everybody that's out there still watching right here. I can't believe that we still have 20 people on our YouTube right now still watching. We'd love it if you jumped right on there. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. All that stuff is helpful. YouTube stream from today. Typing it in there. I got the YouTube stream. I'm throwing that right into the comments right there. So if you watch this thing on Detroit Lions News or Detroit Lions Villain Squad, use that link. Go over to our YouTube channel. Give us a subscribe. Hit the like button. We love talking football. We talk football every day. Got our YouTube channel at Main Event 365. That's the Lions main event. Week 8 games. The Bears going out, playing the Chargers. That's two teams that could get on a track. Can the Bears go out, get a streak going? Can they make it happen? Every Monday night, it's the open mic. It used to be trash talk. It's not so much trash talk anymore. It's more like a couch therapy session. Every Monday at 7. Are the Packers in trouble? Can they get right? They're in Lambeau. They get this game at home. Bringing in the Vikings. The Vikings were already good offensively. The fact that their defense is playing average right now is great for them. I thought that the team was going to be trash all year long. And they're showing some signs of hope. Yeah, they've lost 4 games. But who'd they lose to? Tampa Bay? The Kansas City Chiefs? The Eagles? I mean, those are some pretty good teams that beat them. What are you going to do? I want to thank everybody for watching the program. Happy Friday to you, John Kapler. Happy Friday to you, Jason Skoll. Congratulations on your win. You deserve to be happy for the week. You deserve it. Beat your chest. Feel good. You went out there. Bears fans, feel good. You deserve to feel good. The secret Bajent man looked pretty good. Thanks, Rob, for the comment right here. I like this comment. And Carolina traded away their first-round pick next year. Just think they could have had a good QB, but they had no patience. Good for the Bears. Good for the Bears. I thought there was no chance that they would make that dumb of a trade. I thought that the Panthers had it going on last year. They could have doubled down, got offensive linemen. They could have got a solid quarterback. It's looking like one of the worst trades ever. Yeah. Yep. And Bear Down Mike says, yes, thankful to the Panthers for DJ Moore in your first pick. You should feel good about that. You should feel like you won the shit out of that trade, Bear Down Mike. See, Russ, this is what I want. This is what I was looking for. Eric says that, see, Russ, I disagree that Fields can throw nice passes and just doesn't do it consistently. And I will respond to that by saying this, Eric, that throwing the ball consistently is what is required of a good quarterback. Every quarterback in the league can throw nice passes because they made it to the NFL as a quarterback. They can all throw nice passes. It's what can you do consistently and what can you do under pressure. And Justin Fields has proven to not make good decisions under pressure. He's got the ability to make big plays. But like Bear Down Mike said earlier, you wanted a quarterback that could extend plays, but what you got is a running back that can also throw the ball a little bit. He was good at Ohio State, but this is the pros. He hasn't proven he can do it here. And right now, Bagent looks like a better thrower. Somebody who might try to take care of the ball a little bit better. He did fumble the ball in one of the games, but I don't know if that was his fault. You got to try to keep your guys clean. So, happy Friday to everybody. Happy Friday to everybody. And as I love to end every single show right here, there's nothing that makes a show that ends better than a show that ends in Green Bay tears. So I may see you live before the weekend is out at some point in time, but our next scheduled program is on Monday in the morning. NFC North talk, football talk with Russell Wayne. I'll see you after the weekend's over. Go Lions, one pride.
It's not fair. They were so happy. It's not gonna be okay.
What's going on, Russell Wayne and the Main Event 365 Network? This is Jason Kabinda from the Detroit Lions. Here to give y'all a shout out, man. We appreciate all the support, man. Know you guys are big fans. Know that you guys are rooting for us to take the North this year, and we're going to do just that, man. Appreciate you guys so much. Just want to give y'all a shout out. Y'all have a great day.